I'm usually about a minute. Look, we started right on time. Usually I'm a few seconds or either earlier thing, but this time I'm dealing with a pro, so I wanted to make sure it worked out. Bryan Srabian has joined me for the live stream right now. San Francisco Giants, and I'm so excited about this. Brian, I was talking to Tyler Rich, your country act that
Yeah,
you've got coming up this weekend, and he told me something I didn't know. He goes, "Do you know it's their first doubleheader in 26 years?"
yeah, yeah. That it's amazing. It's a lost kind of I guess nostalgic thing of the past because typically we've had double headers, but they have been a rain out, and so we have to add a game. And so what we typically would do is say, okay, everyone, your game is on July 25th, and there'd be the regularly scheduled game. Then we'd clear out the ballpark, and then we'd have to reset. So it wasn't a true double header. It was two games on the same day. In other words, you would need two tickets. This is a true double header, two games for the price of one. So something we thought we would try. It hadn't been done, and we're excited about it. And there's a lot. And I think that's the thing. There's a lot of young people who don't even understand the concept. They're used to like, oh, well, two games, but not. And they're like, well, I want a ticket for the first game. And you're like, no, the ticket is for both games. And they're like, oh my gosh. And then you throw in the concert in the middle. And we think we have it's going to be a great Saturday in San Francisco. So we're excited as is Tyler Rich.
You nailed it. My son is 14 years old, right? And he loves baseball. And so I was trying to explain this to him, and he could not wrap his head around it. He goes, how are they going to play two games in one day?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and for me, I kept trying to tell him, dude, this is normal. And then as you and I had talked about, you were on the air with me. Okay, rainouts, and we don't get rainouts. So it's a very rare situation that anybody, and my son has grown up where he's never even heard the words doubleheader.
Yeah.
I literally had to explain to him the concept. And he was
Yeah.
like, mind blown.
Mind blown. It's true. It is something that some of us who've been around the game for a long time, we kind of assume everyone knows what that is. So you have to take a step back and understand, okay, we have to explain what the doubleheader is, but then we have to also explain, because we've done pre-game concerts and we've done post-game concerts. Well, how is a in-game or between-game concert going to work? And so they basically have 45 minutes between the two games. So you're going to finish the first game, and then they're going to set up the stage, and then Tyler's going to come out. He's going to play his set, and then they're going to have about 10 minutes to wheel off the stage and get ready for game two. So everyone's kind of has a schedule. We have our entertainment team, we have our operations team, the marketing team, Tyler Rich's production team, and everyone kind of understands the clock starts right when that final out is of game one. So it should be interesting. And I think we're reaching a new fan base that maybe hasn't been to a Giants game in a while because they're fans of Tyler Rich, or they're fans of country music in general, and they want to come see this out, or they're a music fan. And then we have our regular Giant fans that are like, oh, this is great. I get to spend the Saturday, and maybe they don't spend the entire game one there. Maybe they come a little late. They get there by the second or third inning, and they know they can watch most of that game, and then they can watch game two when they want. So it kind of gives people that luxury as well. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into the planning of it. And then the execution, to me, is going to be the most interesting part as we pull this off. But I assure you, our teams are ready to make this happen and make sure game two starts on time, as well as Tyler Rich's concert, making sure that gets the prime spotlight, if you will, between games.
Well, I talked to Tyler, and as I told you, he's so geeked, because he's been a Giants fan. I mean, he's all about this, and his band's from Nashville, and he goes, they probably don't even know, what baseball is. And I'm like, who cares? They didn't come to see the Tyler Rich band. They came to see Tyler Rich. And he's like, good point.
Yeah.
And it's just, it is. And, that's the thing. That is the beauty of the pitch clock now.
Yeah.
Because as well as I do, a doubleheader could be daunting because you could be there for 18 hours. Honestly, But now with a pitch clock, wow. I didn't know if I'd like it, but I gotta be honest. For me, I love it. I love it.
Well, for some of us who've worked in baseball for a long time, we have experienced very long games. The average game was 3 to 3.5 hours. Extra inning games, sometimes they go to 4 or 5. I've been at the ballpark till midnight at times for late inning games. They're exciting, but they are long. And I feel like the last 5-10 years, people's lives have gotten a lot busier. Time is a commodity. But not only are the games, going quicker, the action, the pace of play, as they say, it's really because we've always used this analogy that there's movies that are long, but they're gripping. It's like there's so much action in there. So it's been a double bonus. So the game is actually moving quicker. There seems to be more action. The runs, which people enjoy, obviously, there's been more runs, except for in occasions where you have a great pitching matchup. But fans typically have been very positive about this change. And it's also, I think it's a little bit better to watch on television too, because the game moves quickly, and before you know it, you're in the 7th inning. And if it's a tight game, you're into it, you're glued. So, but for a doubleheader, absolutely. I'm not sure we could have pulled this off a few years ago without the pitch clock.
Nobody needs to see Nomar Garcia Power do his gloves for 30 minutes. I mean, and you think, it's an exaggeration, but because anybody who's a baseball fan, that truly is where it started, where everybody goes, no. So we have to explain it. Nomar Garcia Power played for the Red Sox. I think he ended up playing for the Dodgers for a while. I'm not sure.
You did,
but
yes.
He was infamous for in between pitches. He would
every pitch.
Every pitch. He would undo his gloves, readjust them, and put them back on. Every pitch. So a Nomar Garcia Parra at bat could last anywhere between 2 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's when everybody was like, no, we need to do something now.
Yeah. And I think, it's always been a game between a pitcher and a batter, right? And it's a game of rhythm. So if a pitcher's in a good rhythm, the batters would step out. They try to disrupt that. If the batter had good rhythm and felt locked in, the pitcher might step off the mound, have a mound visit with the catcher and whatnot. So now it's to the point where it's like, get in the box, get on the mound, and just pitch. And you can call timeout if you need to once per at bat. But some of the players would kind of disrupt and do that and have their routines. And you mentioned that name. That's, a great player, but he's always going to be known for that at bat and his approach to that. And that is definitely what you're trying to avoid as you try to get everyone. And the players also, the mass majority are into it. They have all, been into the pace of play. Batters appreciate it. The pitchers appreciate it. And most importantly, the defense appreciates it because they can just get ready and expect, the ball at any time, as opposed to just standing out there for minutes on minutes on minutes. So, and of course the fans, I think, really appreciate it. But as we said, sometimes these games go by quickly. This doubleheader gives you a chance to kind of, relax a little bit, get here at your own time, enjoy the game, but be sure you're in your seats for the concert, which I think most people will be. And they probably will get up and get some food during the game. So that'll be a lot of fun on Saturday.
Well, I told Tyler, I asked him, what was your favorite go-to food at the ballpark? And like a psychopath, he said Red Rose. Oh. And I said, you are a serial killer. Licorice. No. And I hated that guy. Red Ropes, get your red ropes. Yeah. Might as well say, hey, where's the weirdos? Weirdos, tell me where you at. And I'm like, he's like, well, what would you have said? I said, who goes to the ballpark and doesn't have a hot dog? And if you're in California, who goes to the ballpark and doesn't have garlic fries? Who are you?
Yeah, that's a great question. You ask someone, what's your go-to food? I would think the number, and for some reason, correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, hot dogs always taste better at the ballpark. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if they have better water there to cook them or grill them, but hot dogs always taste better. But get this, thanks for reminding me. They actually are going to have two special food items just for the Saturday, because it is country day at the park. So there's going to be a Texas chop barbecue brisket sandwich available, and that's going to be at the Carvery and various spots around the park. And if you get a little thirsty for a 21 and over adults, there's a strawberry rye lemonade. So little bourbon strawberry lemonade that will be served exclusively on Saturday. So this is we try to kind of theme out food on special days, have a few food specials that typically celebrate that day. So maybe something you typically don't get at the ballpark, but you might be, get yourself caught up in the theme. So we're excited to see how I will definitely be trying that brisket sandwich for sure.
You've covered me and my wife, because I'm all about that brisket sandwich. And of course, she won't order one and then eat half of mine, because if I order it, it has no calories. But that lemonade drink, that's right up her alley.
I like all kinds of lemonade. Yeah, why not?
Well, to me, I just can't. I'm a bitter guy when it comes even when it comes to alcohol, except whiskey. I don't do whiskey. I don't like that. But I like the beer selection. I like the beer, and that's and there's great beer at the ballpark. That's one of the things I'm very happy about, is that at Oracle everywhere, you guys have stepped up the beer selection.
Yeah, there's a number of microbreweries that are available, and obviously people are into IPAs or into ales. Some people just like your traditional Coors Light, if you will, or domestic. So there's a little bit of everything. So the beer selection is, hey, I'm not a beer guy myself, so I don't judge.
I do. I absolutely judge.
You're the guy. I'm going to defer to you then on the beer selection, and assume that you will guide people the right. We have a wine sommelier that's on staff and does events for people. So maybe we need a beer. I don't know if it's a beer sommelier or a beer aficionado. You could be the guy.
Tell me where to send the resume.
That's, based on what you eat, which beer you should get, how to pair. So that might be your next line of work for us.
That's it. Just tell me where to send the resume. I tell you what, if you order a Coors Light and get Red Ropes, Coors
Light and Red Ropes, the Tyler Rich combo. There it is.
Oh my gosh.
We should have a batch of Red Ropes for him backstage, so he's ready to go.
If you did that, he would, because he doesn't think you could get him at the ballpark anymore. And I'm like, I can't imagine that. So if you get Red Ropes for him, let him know, because he'll know. Look, my boy set me up.
There it is.
Perfect. So it's, and we didn't even mention the cowboy hat.
We haven't even. I told you this last week. When you work in marketing, you try to make the message as simple as possible. We have so many messages. So we've talked about the doubleheader. We've talked about Tyler Rich. It is country day at the park. So we're giving away a Giants cowboy hat to the first 20,000. So you should get there early to get the hat. This is courtesy of Chevrolet. It's a great looking hat. And if you go to I believe our Facebook page has it, or our website to take a look at it. Also, I should plug our tickets, sfgiants.com/country. But the hat is great. So we're going to have 20,000 fans wearing the hat in the stands. It's probably going to be one of the best settings for him, because he's going to have this beautiful ballpark. He's going to have 20,000 plus. Well, we're expecting 35,000 fans there, maybe more, 20,000 of them in Giants cowboy hats. So he'll feel right at home right there on the bay at McCovey Cove. So exciting. And we're also excited because we know that when we give away a hat like that, you see them all year long, and you see them in the city around the Bay Area, and people will say, where'd you get that hat? And they'll say, I was at the Giants doubleheader. So,
well, it's one of those that I've said before. That's the kind of thing you see when you watch Antiques Roadshow 15, 20 years ago. And they go, wow, this is that rare San Francisco Giant Tyler, that thing. And it's crazy like that. And I told Tyler I'd let you know, he hopes you'll save two for him, because his wife's an actress. And
Oh,
so, yeah, those,
okay. So his riders, we've got red ropes and we've got the Giants
that's
hat.
it. Now you're in.
Yeah,
Now
all right.
you-
That's
and
good.
listen, I went way too long with you, but I couldn't do it. I've already asked Bryan because I think for my podcast, when the season's over, I've already asked him to come on my podcast so we could just go deep and all this little behind the scenes stuff and plus the journey. How do you get where you are? How do you get that job? So
Yeah,
we're going to
that'll
talk
be fun.
about that.
That'll be great. I look forward to it. But I hope that doesn't happen until November. I hope we make a run. We have a long postseason in October. I'm really busy, and then I say, all right, November, December, I'll have time. So
We'll do that. That's why I said after the season, and I'm
That's
right
right.
there with you. I hope it's a long season, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's right.
Bryan, thank you so much. Again, it's this weekend. It's the Giants doubleheader, sfgiants.com/country. And to get the tickets, the doubleheader with Tyler Rich, and everybody's excited about it. My friend, thank you so much.
Thanks again, Gary. Always great talking to you, and we will talk to you real soon.